Hi, I am Heather Hope, and I am the founder and director of One Love, and I would like to talk about the One Love religion. In a previous video, I described the overview, the brief summary of One Love, and now I'll be going more into depth into the component of the religion. So just to remind you, the mission of One Love is cooperatively creating community centered around holistic health to celebrate life, bless our divine creator, and restore heaven on earth. So in a previous video I mentioned I shared all these circles about One Love, and in this video I'm only going to talk about the first two circles. What is One Love and what is the religion? So to describe One Love, one way you could say is it's synonymous for God or spirit or source or universe. It's the one thing. There's only one thing that exists. That one thing is a love, one love. And throughout when talking about One Love, I'm going to refer to many, many sacred texts. One sacred text, though, and probably my personal favorite, is called the Holy Megillah, the Nazarene Bible of the Essene Way. So in this text, I made a bunch of notes on the side, but in this text, they have a creation story and it applies to One Love. So in the creation story of the Holy Megillah, they say that there was, back in the day, the original thing was one thing. This one thing was living in total bliss, total ecstasy. And then it had an idea and it said, there is one thing that could make this better if I could share it with another. So this one thing looked inside itself and it saw a face of the goddess. And in that moment, it became the God. And so the one thing that was love and bliss became two things for the joy of becoming one again. So One Love is the one thing, but it's also the two things, which can be seen in the yin yang as the day and night, tall and short, old and young, masculine, feminine. It's when these two things come together in harmony that we make the one again. When they're not in balance, we're not hitting the mark and being the bliss. We want to be in balance so we get to be bliss. So when I talk about these being masculine or feminine, the masculine can be known as actually the one. Like in One Love, the word for masculine can be one, because it's this knowing, the eternal knowing of the one thing that never changes. Like you might think of monks in a cave meditating on the one thing that never changes. And in the logo, this one thing can be seen as the plus sign, the white plus sign. It's this structure that holds everything. It's the riverbed through which the river flows. It's the 2x4s or studs that hold the house together. And that's the masculine in all beings. And the love is the feminine. It's the more. It's the thing that's always changing and moving and growing and like never the same. So it's when those two come together, we get bliss or One Love. And that the feminine is represented by the rainbow and all the colors and the flow. And so that's what One Love means. And the religion of One Love, and I get it that religions have been a huge problem in society for a long time, causing wars and suffering and division and hatred and judgment and all fear, all like the down the ladder things. But Nothing in itself is inherently bad. It is what we do with it that gives it its meaning. So with our religion, if our purpose is to celebrate life, bless our divine creator, and restore heaven on earth, those are all good things. The game plan is to climb the ladder home to the loving God and Goddess, or the one that created us, our one creator. And that's the story from the prodigal son. Like, they're waiting for us. They want to have a party when we get there. They want to celebrate us no matter how much money we wasted or how much we messed up. It doesn't matter. They are excited to see us. And so we climb the ladder with the two hands, masculine and feminine. Also, we are a legitimate religion because our purpose is to restore heaven on earth, to bless the divine creator. And we believe that restoring heaven on earth would bless them because that's what they made for us. They made this beautiful paradise garden, perfect in every way, a miracle. And they made us to live in it with all these amazing animals and beautiful flowers and plants. And what humanity, so the example or the analogy that I'm thinking of is humanity has been like teenagers having a party, like a messy, unconscious party. And now we're awakening. Just like the teenager wakes up after the party, what do? They start cleaning up. Once they awaken, they clean up. And that's what we are doing collectively. And we're doing that to restore, like the parents in the party left a beautiful home. And our parents left us a beautiful home. And people might say like, oh, it's not my garbage, but it is our earth. It is our earth. It might not have even been your party, but it's your home. It's our home. So also being a religion, which we legitimately are, gives us rights and freedoms that we would not have were we not a religion. And that is the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. That means the state or the government cannot say you must do this one religion, and they also cannot say you cannot do your own. So when we decide what our own is, we get to do it. And so this is my proposal of, well, this is my religion. Okay, so besides those premises, it has 6 points. I'm going to read them over one time now, and then I'll go over them each in detail. So number 1, we honor our divine free will and the free will of all beings. This belief trumps all the other beliefs. Number 2, God is love, and love is our religion. Number 3, we were made in the image and likeness of the God and the Goddess. Number 4, we were given dominion over our Mother Earth. Number 5, all life is sacred. And number 6, God's creation is good. The creation of the God and the Goddess is good. So number 1, backing it up. So number 1 is we honor our divine free will and the free will of all beings. And this goes back to common law, or the law of the land, the first law that said, do no harm. They had one rule, do no harm. How easy is that? And so that's what free will means. It means like you can do whatever you want until you're harming someone else. And this belief trumps all the other beliefs. So this is, if, like I said, if we only have one rule, this would be it. Do no harm. Honor your own free will, your right to choose what's for your best good, and my right to choose for what is my best good. Okay, there's implications of free will. Like, what would it mean if we had free will? It would mean that we have full autonomy over our bodies. I get the right to decide what happens to and in and around this body. And you have those rights for your body. So we have the right to give consent to anything that affects our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So another implication of free will is that we have the right to use the medicines that come from our Mother Earth. You could say for our healing, but it's not really that. The healing is a byproduct. We use the medicines, I'm talking about sacred plant medicines or sacred plant teachers. We use these to remember who we are. We use these to remember that we are eternally loved and eternally connected to our loving mother and father. They've always been here. These teenagers, I feel like, thought they made a mess because they thought their parents were gone. Our parents, when you have a ceremony with a sacred plant teacher, you recognize our mother and father have always been here, and they've always been loving us. All of us, everyone, every last one. And so when we remember who we are, then we heal body, mind, and spirit. It's the remembering of our perfection that's like reminds our bodies like, hey, you're good. You're good enough. You are good just as you are. So another implication of free will is that we each have the right to experience pleasure. We are made in the image and likeness of the God and Goddess. They made pleasure in our bodies for a purpose. And we can experience pleasure whenever there's not deception, because that's a violation of free will, and with anyone who's of age to give consent. So for example, if you were married and you said to your partner, hey, I would love to have another partner, an additional partner, and that partner says, cool, go for it, then that's not a violation of free will, as long as all these people are of age to give consent. And so it's only when we use deception that we violate free will. So additionally, there's no need for judgment. Whatever other people want to do with their divine free will, as long as it's consensual and of age, go for it. And it also gives us the freedom to not take responsibility for other people's actions. Because if other people are choosing to go down the ladder, that is their choice, and we can bless them on their path, but we don't have to go chase them or yell to them or yell at them. If they say like, hey, I need help getting up now, then it's your free choice to help them up or not. Okay, number 2 is God is love and love is our religion. And I touched on this a little because you can use a rock. A rock is neutral. It's not inherently good or bad. You can use it as a weapon, or you can use it to build a sacred temple. And sexuality can be the same. You can use it to climb the ladder back to the light, back home, or you can use it to descend further into down, which is fear, jealousy, hatred, anger, abuse, blame, shame, neglect, abandonment, etc. So it's when we use our bodies, our minds, and our voices in love, which is the frequency of above, that's how we ascend the ladder. So whatever comes into our life, when we act with it, on it, in a loving way, we ascend the ladder. When we act towards it in a fearful, angry, hateful way, we descend the ladder. So love, because number 2 is God is love. Love is a verb in action. You can't say like, I love, and then like let everything fall apart. That's not love. So how we express love, how that comes through our bodies, changes based on our own free will and the circumstances in the moment. So sometimes it's a mother loving a child, and sometimes it's Yahshua or Jesus flipping the tables because he's defending his Father's house, which is becoming a den of thieves. So both of these examples are love. Defending something sacred is an act of love. So number 3, we were made in the image and likeness of the God and the Goddess. Each of us. And the Bible says this. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. Male and female, he created them. So as above, so below. Below on earth, all the species come in male and female. That is how they recreate. That is the source of creation, the union of the masculine and the feminine. And as above, so below. So if below all the animals and plants even are masculine and feminine, have masculine and feminine parts, then so it is above. It is the God and the Goddess. The Goddess, to me, looks like a diamond or a disco ball with all these facets. So the facets are you and me, and a zebra, and an elephant, and a giraffe, and an iris, and a worm, and a mole, and crystals. And so each of these, each creation is a facet of the divine. And we are meant to be different. The divine didn't want us to all be the same. And there isn't a best version. We are all a facet. We are all a disco ball square of the God or the Goddess. The Sri Yantra, this depicts the Holy Trinity. Yah, or the source, and then the masculine and feminine that came from it, and how this is creation. In the center of the Sri Yantra is a dot. And that is the source from which everything came. And then it came into a trinity. And then this trinity like replicates itself. That is creation. The Holy Trinity is creation of the masculine, the feminine, crowned in the source, or Yah. The Holy Megillah talks about this. Yea, the difference between Jah and Jala, the God and the Goddess, is the difference between the masculine and the feminine principles. Truly, this difference is cause for celebration, for this difference makes possible creation. Yea, it makes possible the gracious gift and the bliss of the lover and the beloved. So to me, this image is the Holy Trinity. And do you see that the source is between them and around them? And God said, be fruitful and multiply. It is the way of creation that was given to us is sexual. So sexual union in love is part of the divine plan. Number 4 is we were given dominion over our Mother Earth. So the Bible says this, and God said, let us make man in our own image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, and over every cattle, and over all of the earth, and every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. This beautiful, beautiful planet was made for us to live in bliss and harmony. And it is from our mother that we receive all sustenance, including water, medicine, homes, clothing, food, all of the things. And it is our right and our duty to protect her. We were given dominion over her. This is our domain to protect and care for. I'm not saying we own her. I'm saying just like our children, we don't own our children, and yet it is our responsibility to care for them and protect them and nurture them and nourish them and provide for them. And in this way, it is our responsibility also to care for our mother. So number 5, all life is sacred. So that means we do not fight any wars. And it also means that One Love itself, the organization, is a vegetarian. And because the mission is to restore heaven on earth, where the lion lays with the lamb. Remember, divine free will comes first. So each being gets to decide what is their choice and their right to put in their body. This only means that One Love itself as an organization will not profit from the death of animals. That's what it means. Number 6, God's creation is good. So in the Bible, there were 6 days God created the earth and everything on it. And after each day, God said it was very good. There was no day that God or Goddess created anything and said, this is evil, this is bad. Evil and bad came into being when God and Goddess gave us free will, and some people chose to go down the ladder and create realms of suffering and perversion. And the problems of the world have only arisen because people have attempted to improve on divine creation. And I will be making another video about the problems of the world, because I'm saying One Love is the solution. And how can I say it's the solution if I'm not pointing out the problems? So in another video, I will talk about the problems, and you'll see how all these problems came into being when people attempted to improve on divine creation. And this is why it's one of our beliefs that God's creation's good. There can't be a way to make it better. It's perfect already. We're perfect already. So thank you so much for watching. Please, please know that everyone is welcome to One Love. Everyone's welcome. If I'm not welcoming everyone, it's not actually One Love. We are all actually part of the one thing that's love and can never be not part of it. But please know that you're welcome, and we would love to have you part of the community. Love in all ways, always in love.